Wow, I guess we're doing this series actually. Alright, let's get started then. First, before I go into the intro, I'm just going to say if you want to go ahead and just skip directly into the intro, timer on screen, timer in the description, all that sort of stuff. But for those who are just going to stay, I'm just going to say that this is going to be a new series similar style to the 30k PR series, but this time around is going to be with all characters with perfect build at 31k PR. What do I mean by perfect build? It's going to be pretty much a no critical hit roll on any of my gems and having at least 2 light or more on my cosmic gems. This is the same across all 16 characters. All 16 characters at 31.1 with all of those gems pretty much perfect, with crystal level 3 with perfect equipment, and a stellar 5 ring with the perfect stat. I already pretty much got all of those things. Literally getting all those rings, it was kind of ridiculous. It took me like God knows how many resources. It's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, just going over with every single character and how do I think it performs in Uber 10 at end game. So this is going to be specifically for those who will already know what is their main and they're ready to just build it and go straight into augmenting and trying to get it to 34k. This is going to be the series for all of those players out there, and I will just showcase how the character perform at 31.1 with at least over 4,000 light, with the exception of Gunslinger, Revenant, and Draco, because those are high coefficient characters. But yeah, I will still try to explain those characters even though they have high coefficient, but I will still go over them and what do I think of them. But anyways, enough ramble. Before I just start, I would like to just show you one clip. This might be one of the most surprising clips that you will ever see. Enjoy. So this is going to be past me and just going to do a little bit of a not discovery, like a little thing that I found really cool, and it is going to be this server that I'm at. This is one of the smoothest Trove servers that I've ever been into. Like, you can probably tell that the servers are so smooth that if you shoot with the Shadow Hunter, you will see all 4 damage like pop out at the same time. Like normally, like it will register just 1 shot and just immediately die. Like you can tell, like all of those shots are registering pretty much at the same time, and it is pretty incredible. Like, I've been grinding in this area for, I will say, over an hour or so. And you can probably tell like this is so smooth. I wanted to make a video, but to be honest, there's no point in making a video just saying, oh, this is the smoothest Trove server available. And I'm just going to say that, yeah, like look at that. Just, oh my goodness. I'll cut back into the future me. I just wanted to make this as a little bit of a fun fact intro. Yeah, I really don't know. That might be probably one of the weirdest servers that I've ever encountered. Like 130 ping server, like literally I wasn't even lagging in the slightest. Like everything was just registering so fast. It was kind of scary, to be honest, and considering that Trove servers are being like pretty much terrible lately, and yeah, it's kind of surprising to see that one of the Uber 10 servers were at least that good. But I'm just going to say thank you for voting in the poll. It's just been incredible. This series is going to be similar style to the 30k PR series. No script. This is just me talking at the top of my head and just giving you my honest opinion just from the top of my head. It's not going to be scripted. It's just going to be live commentary. With that being out of the way, let's get started. Hello and welcome to another JNMG video. I'm your host JonNario, and today this is going to be Trove's Endgame, featuring the Knight. The Knight that I have currently is 34,130 Knight. It is going to be pretty much my main character currently, but I will be going objectively rather than just being subjectively. I'm just going to be as unbiased as possible. So you're going to see the stats right here on screen. The only thing noteworthy to keep in mind is going to be the light. I got 5,819 light. That is literally the maximum amount of light that you can obtain in Trove for the Into the Deep update. I know after the Into the Deep update there's banners that will increase light and all that sort of stuff. So before the Into the Deep update, this is the maximum amount of light. Another thing to keep a note, I'm 99.4% critical hit even with fully augmented gems. I don't have critical hit weapon and I don't have critical hit range. The reason I don't have 100% is because this character doesn't gain any critical hit on level up and it doesn't gain any critical hit by itself. This is as much critical hit as you can get with any character that doesn't have any critical hit bonus. So yeah, 99.4% is the current maximum critical hit. So anyways, moving on to my gear, I have a fully Pearl, fully Star, Crystal level 3 equipment with critical damage and movement speed on all pieces of gear. Magic Find on all of them. I prefer just using Magic Find over critical hit. And if you're just going into the Uber 10 route and if you don't have a lot of HP, I would recommend you to have HP, like maximum health on hat and face. And on weapon you can use whichever you want. Ring, Stellar 5, Magic Find Ring, Rat the Berserker, best ally in the game. I have Martial, and I have Trailblazing. I don't need Unyielding with this character. I can one-shot pretty much all enemies, so I don't need Unyielding. So if you cannot one-shot, if you feel that you need like some survivability, you can still use something like Unyielding with this character, and Martial because damage. And I'm using the Naval Gunfire Pirate Captain subclass because of the extra Magic Find. I will be going into my gems. My gems is as follows. So first and foremost, I will be going into my lesser gems. So as you probably could tell, this is as a perfect Uber 10 build. This is 100% perfect. This is the build that you should be looking for if you're maining a character. Vampire and Vanquisher, Pirate this Explosive Epilogue, and have your class gem. And pretty much have no critical hit roll on any of your gems. So I have 2-1 physical, 2-1 crit damage, divided half and half on all of my lesser gems. So you probably can tell right here. And my empower gems also are pretty much divided half and half, with 2-1 physical and 2-1 crit damage on the one empower gem with 2 critical damage, 1 physical, and the other 2 with 2 physical, 1 critical damage. I already did explain on how does the 2-1 physical, 2-1 crit damage. Like you probably could tell, like the 2-1 means that it has 2 rolls on one stat, 1 on another stat. So when I mean 2-1 physical, it means that it has 2 rolls on physical, 1 on critical damage. And if I say 2-1 crit damage, 2 critical damage, and 1 on the damage on physical and magic. So going on into my Cosmic Gem fully light. If you're looking for an Uber 10 type character, you need as much light as possible. Light is going to be an extremely high factor when it comes to dealing damage in Uber 10. So if you're going with the Uber 10 route, light, don't go with high coefficient, just go with light. Light will do a lot more damage than just having insane amounts of critical damage and physical damage. Like, let me tell you, it is extremely beneficial to have as much light as possible. I did test it out with no light. I did test it out with 1, 2, and 3 rolls on light, and the 3 rolls on light is the better one. So, the Knight, what does it need? So I did explain like pretty much an overview of like what should you use on any of the character. The Knight should be using at least Pirate this and Vampire and Vanquisher, and I will recommend you to use the class gem. You can use it without the class gem, but I will just go with the class gem. The class gem is just way better than not using it. I will explain once I get into Uber 10. But Pirate this and Vampire and Vanquisher, the reason being is because this character has pretty much the lowest potential movement speed in the entire game, because it doesn't have movement speed buff. It has pretty much the worst dodge in the game, and not to mention it has base movement speed at 40 at level 30. So 40 movement speed at level 30, it means that with max crystal level 3 is going to be 99 movement speed, which is the same as something like Shadowhunter, Revenant, and all those characters. But seeing that this character doesn't have any movement speed buffs, yeah, it usually means that this character is extremely slow when it comes to movement speed. One thing to keep in note is that this character has incredibly high momentum. Once I go into Uber 10, I will explain that in a bit, but let me just tell you, the momentum in this character is what makes this character an amazing character for Uber 10. So Pirate this, Vampire and Vanquisher, I would recommend you to get it. Also get as much movement speed as possible with this character, because you cannot use the Knight subclass, and not using the Knight subclass is a big deal. But yeah, I use the Spirit Squire and use Pirate this and Vampire and Vanquisher. The other empowered gem ability, you can use whichever you like. I use Explosive Epilogue, but if you already can one-shot pretty much all enemies, you don't need Explosive Epilogue. But Explosive Epilogue is going to help out with the damage that this character can dish out, and the crowd control, which is already incredible. But anyways, those are pretty much every single piece of gear that I have on my Knight. I will be going into Uber 10 right now. So, what do I think of the character in game, the Knight as an end game? I already said it in the gem session, might be one of the best characters in the entire game. And before you ask what is those numbers in the top left below your power rank, that is a command called debug text. And that's how I check like the ping on this and the frames per second on this game. And yeah, so Just type in /debug text, and that's how you're going to get this text right here. You need to type it every time you log in. Anyways, so the Knight might be one of the best characters for Uber 10 type grinding. The reason being is because in Uber 9, you are looking characters with high speed and pretty much high momentum. In Uber 10, you're looking characters with high damage and high momentum. Those are the characters which are going to perform better in Uber 10. High damage and high momentum. What is momentum, you might be asking? It's a term that I like to use whenever a character doesn't lose any speed whatsoever. You keep getting as much speed as possible. Just keep getting speed, and you pretty much never lose speed. The reason being is because Spirit Squire, you do not lose any movement speed. You're literally running at the same speed when you're casting Spirit Squire. And this is the reason I think the character has incredibly high momentum, because Spirit Squire is an amazing all-around ability. Like, the ability does insane amount of damage, which is 8 times damage. It has incredible crowd control of a 4 block width and 9 block range. It goes through enemies, which is stupid. It stuns, so which is even more ridiculous. And it is an instant cast ability that doesn't lose any movement speed. Like, literally, it is the perfect ability. Just imagine the Neon Ninja Shuriken without just doing the 1-2-3 combo into backflip shuriken. This is pretty much Spirit Squire. Obviously it doesn't have the insane damage from critical damage, but you already use Marshall with this character, so using Marshall with this character, you're dishing out close to the Neon Ninja damage, so it's going to dish out close to Neon Ninja damage instantly, that can stun completely, go through enemies, and pretty much be a low costing ability that you do not lose any movement speed. It is so ridiculous. Spirit Squire is so ridiculous that it makes this character a walking powerhouse. Yeah, it is extremely good. Like, let me tell you, the Knight, it is really good at endgame. And it pretty much brings me joy that seeing that the Knight is so good at endgame, considering that this character, in my opinion, might be one of the most underestimated class in the entire game, because this character is still considered to be pretty trash on how it looks, on how it, you know, people still think that the character still performs the same way as it did back before the Adventures update. Like, this character got its rework, and once it got its rework, it is a strong character. It is an all-around strong character. And in my opinion, it might be one of the best characters all around in Uber 10. Like, I pretty much was keeping pace with some Neon Ninjas. Obviously, keeping pace with the endgame Neon Ninja is almost near impossible because, you know, Neon Ninja. And I was keeping up, pretty much I was killing enemies faster than they could do 1-2-3 backflip shuriken, because my ability is instant cast, while the Neon Ninja, you need to hit an enemy 3 times with your basic before doing the insane damage with your shuriken. So you could probably tell right now on screen that this character is destroying Uber 10. Obviously, granted, I have max light, max movement speed, as much damage as possible, and I can one-shot 34.1 KPR. But you probably could see that the character just is incredible. It is extremely powerful. It is honestly an amazing all-around class. Does it have weaknesses? Yes, it is not a perfect class. That's why I did not say this is the best class in the game. It really isn't. It's not the best class in the game, and let me just tell you that much. The reason is that the weakness of this character is the movement speed. It's not the fastest moving character in the entire game. Like I mentioned in the gem section, like, this character is slow. It is slow moving. It has average movement speed, and not to mention it has not only average movement speed, no movement speed buff, and the worst dodge in the game. Yeah, it does have incredible momentum, but it doesn't have incredible speed, which is kind of weird. It is a weird combination. A character with incredibly high momentum, it never loses speed, but it's not fast. It can still go fast, because most players will be just happy with 160 movement speed, and 160 movement speed, a lot of players will be like, you know what, that's fast enough for me. So seeing that this character can go upwards to 199 movement speed, it's kind of ridiculous. Okay, I hate this chunk error, so give me a sec. Let me fix this. Trove is so broken. You can tell, like, what the hell? But seriously, let me just tell you something. If you're planning to use the knife, if you never try it out, I would suggest you do try it out. The character is great. It is strong. very, very strong. And I'm happy that this character is extremely strong. It's not going to be the fastest Neon Ninja type character. It's just going to be a consistent all-around character. And one thing to keep in note is going to be the basic attack. I wanted to do a video just explaining how ridiculous this basic attack is. Yeah, just literally a video just dedicated to this knight basic attack. Being a basic attack that you can literally hit enemies behind you. Let me just give you an example right here. You can probably tell that I'm literally hitting enemies behind me. Like, you can hit enemies behind you. That's how ridiculous the crowd control on this basic attack is. And not only that, it is pretty much the 5th strongest when it comes to multiplier at 2.5. And it is the 4th fastest basic attack as well. This basic attack, it is the 5th strongest, 4th fastest, and pretty much it is the fastest out of all close range character. All of the characters that have higher attacks per second, all of them are range, and this is the fastest close range basic attack in the entire game. I'm not giving a proper example because I don't have attack speed gear, but once you get attack speed gear on this character, holy mamma mia, it's kind of ridiculous. And honestly, the basic attack itself is why do I think the knight it is extremely good even at the early portions of the game. Obviously being a starter class, seeing that it is a starter class, it still has incredible crowd control damage multipliers, and yeah, it is an incredibly strong basic attack. I would suggest you use it as much as possible, especially on something like Cursed Calls. Like on Cursed Calls, you will literally just kill enemies so fast because it does have high crowd control. You will literally hit all enemies around you, and you will have a fast basic attack that will pretty much hit pretty fast all enemies and high damage. It's arguably one of the best, if not the best basic attack in the entire game. Yeah, before you go crazy and just, oh my god, best basic attack in the game. Like, once you break down the basic attack, like literally it's so good that it's honestly unreal, that a lot of people are not taking into consideration of how good this basic attack actually is. And just overall, it's a great basic. And yeah, this being that this character has a great basic and a great ability from Spirit Squire, it's an all-around straight good character. So I'm rambling all too much. This is a longer recording than I actually expected, and to be honest, I don't know. I don't know if you like to see like longer episodes, like longer videos similar to the 30k instead of something like the 20k PR, which was like I wanted to do like a 10-minute limit. But 30k was like 17 to 20 minutes long, and sometimes even 25 minutes long. Let me know in the comments below if you like this longer videos. Let me know. But that is all I wanted to say. I'm just going to complete this 1-star dungeon and then go off an overview of this character. First and foremost, just going to say it's a high damaging, slow moving character with extremely high momentum. It is an extremely over-the-top character with one of the strongest abilities in the entire game. This character is extremely underestimated, and a lot of people don't even realize how good this character can be. Having an insane basic attack, like look at this crowd control, is just stupid. Fast and high damage with Spirit Squire also. Crowd control is stupid, fast and high damage with low energy cost, so you don't even need energy regen. And it is an all-around beast of a character. In my opinion, one of the top characters for Uber 10. Do I recommend this over Vanguardian? Probably, and probably not at the same time. Vanguardian will still do something like this character, and he will still have a movement speed buff, but this character has better survivability compared to like the Vanguardian because of the ultimate ability. The ultimate ability just giving you pretty much a panic button to, you know, once you get one shot, you can just press the button and you will immediately heal 100% and have a 50% incoming damage reduction. And just having that panic button and having pretty much the same momentum and same damage multipliers as something like Vanguardian, now you pretty much depend on what you want. If you want a character compared to like the Knight and Vanguardian, if you want a more damaging character, Vanguardian has the higher DPS out of the two. If you want better survivability and a better consistency, then the Knight is better than the Vanguardian because of the Spirit Squire's stun abilities and all that jazz. Like the character survivability will triumph over the Vanguardian because of the ult and the stun from Spirit Squire. So it honestly depends on what you want. If you want damage, Vanguardian. If you want survivability, then the Knight. So yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around as always. Leave a like if you want to help this channel grow, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and that is all for today. Once again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Take care and keep on hunting. And this has been the night at Endgame. See ya.